I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through. To make those rainbows in my mind, when I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, just the two of us, just the two of us. Floating castles in the sky, just the two of us, you and I. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, just the two of us, just the two of us. Oh, it's just the two of us, just the two of us. Yeah, just the two of us. Come on, get it together, baby. Just the two of us. Yeah, yeah, just the two of us.
So I am so fortunate that today our special guest is the lovely and just glowing Sharon Hampson. For those of you who may not recognize her right off the bat, which I would be shocked if you didn't, she is the one and only Sharon from Sharon, Lois and Bram. Sharon and I have had the pleasure of knowing each other. Well, am I allowed to say we've had the pleasure of knowing each other for 42 years? Because Sharon was
we're sort of one way part of that time.
Sharon was my music teacher when I was about 6 years old at the Toronto Public Library. This was pre-Sharon, Lois and Bram days. And then I became a devoted fan for all of my childhood, teens, and young adulthood. And then we were fortunate enough to become real friends in my later adulthood because of our coming together to help build the Sharon, Lois and Bram playground at beautiful June Rowlands Park. So welcome, Sharon. I'm happy to have you.
Thank you, Leslie. I'm happy to be with you, and I'm happy to be called a friend to you and Chris. I think the work that you do at the park and with all your community work is really significant, and I'm happy to be at your side some of that time.
Aw, thank you. Well, you're a very big market supporter. You've been coming to all of our markets, and you've been on the team to help design the playground itself with Bram. You guys helped implement the garden programming when we first got started. So we've gotten to do some really fun stuff over the years.
We have indeed. Challenges and excitement. I love the park. I love the market. I love the community experience of all of that. The garden, the music garden, the playground, all of that. People coming together. And that, of course, is what we're all missing more than anything right now.
Absolutely. That seems to be the common theme when we do our Talkin' Six with Apple Tree, which we're going to do today. And we're fortunate enough, we have this week, Sharon is our special guest, but she's also our musical guest. So we're really fortunate to be able to see that in the show today too. But we're talking to you poolside today, and I wish I had a Mai Tai or something that I could transfer over through the virtual world here, but hopefully we'll be doing that together soon.
Hi, I'm Anne. I'm the owner of Not Delicious Foods. I hope everyone is keeping well and safe. During this time while we're staying at home enjoying comfort foods, you can add my healthy snack to your diet. It is a vegan yogurt that comes in 4 flavors. It's almond, hazelnut, walnut, and pistachio. And it's made with 4 simple ingredients: water, nut, cane sugar, and rice. Our delicious nuts are dairy-free, soy-free, and gluten-free. There are ample benefits to nuts in our diet. In general, nuts are a good source of fats, fiber, and protein. Particularly, almond here is high in magnesium, which helps with energy and maintains normal nerve functions. Hazelnut provides our body with folate that can slow down onset of brain and degenerative disorders in older adults. Walnut is packed with omega-3 and is excellent in reducing high blood pressure and inflammation. Pistachio has an abundance of potassium that helps with maintain water balance and electrolytic functions. So to find out more about benefits or how to find my products, I invite you to visit my website at Nutdelicious Foods and follow my Instagram at Nutdelicious Foods. I hope you are all staying safe, and thanks for watching.
So let's do Talking Six. Let's have some fun and get to know a little bit more about the nitty gritty of Sharon. So question number one that I'm going to ask you is a food that you love.
A food that I love. I'm a foodie. I love a lot of food. I do. However, I probably would say that my most favorite food, and it's from childhood, is something called a potato latke, which is a potato pan. It's a Jewish dish. It's probably culturally more widespread than that. I love them, and they're fried. There's grated potatoes and with egg and matzah meal or flour to thicken them, and you fry them in oil. They're maybe not the most healthy food in the world, but they are.
Okay.
And I used to count. When we were having them as a family, I would keep track of how many others we're having because I needed to have more.
That's like me with Thanksgiving stuffing. I used to be like, oh no, someone's having seconds. I need to eat it. Okay, that's a good one. I have to tell you, I just remember, as you said that, it reminded me that my husband has died many years ago, but when we would go to the movies together, we'd share popcorn, and I didn't like butter on my popcorn, but he did. So he'd have butter on the top, and I'd say, okay, you can eat the top, and then I'll have the rest. However, there were times when he ate too much of beyond the top. He went down a little far, so he had to deal with me. Stop! I need more popcorn. So popcorn's also a favorite. Popcorn's up there too. And look, somebody just magically brought me a cocktail. So cheers. Okay, question number two: a food that you hate.
This is easy. I hate to say hate, but I'm very not fond of it. Well, dislike and will never eat cooked carrots. And cooked carrots. I love carrots. Raw carrots, give them to me anytime. But cooked, don't take them near the flame, near the pot, nothing. And early in the Sharon, Lois and Bram career, we discovered that we all three do not like cooked carrots. First time we ever realized was when we were having a meal in a restaurant, and cooked carrots are pretty common on the plate because they're frequently available. The color is good. They're cheap. All of that. So we each get our dinners, and we start trying to pass the carrots to each other. The carrots go all around the table when we realize there are no takers at this table.
I think I remember that when we had you and Bram over for dinner, and I was like, do we have any food allergies, any aversions? And both of you emailed me back saying cooked carrots. And I was like, who writes that? That's so weird. I mean, that's a good one. Okay, I will always remember that. Question number three, your go-to meal that you know how to make and is your staple.
I love cooking, and I love baking a lot. And being home during this pandemic has inspired me to try things in terms of baking that I've never done before, which is not your question. I'll tell you but what I have done that I've never done before is that I've worked with yeast, and I've made delicious sticky buns, which are great. But in terms of a meal in our family, we love enchiladas. When I met my husband, I was about 18 years old, and he introduced me to Mexico. That's a long time ago. He introduced me to Mexican food. And when we moved back to Toronto, there were no Mexican restaurants. So we started making our own, and we would have tacos and enchiladas. And we've made those foods for years and years and years, introduced them to my extended family, our friends. It was the one meal that my husband could make, enchiladas.
When I love Mexican food. So when we are done this, Taco Tuesday at your house, and you can make the enchiladas, and I will bring the raw carrots and the cocktails. And the cocktails.
Perfect meal.
Okay, a kitchen item that you cannot do without.
I think, and I didn't learn this till kind of later in my married life, a good kitchen knife is the most
Yes,
important thing.
I agree.
Or more than one if you can have more than one, but absolutely working with good knives in the kitchen makes all the difference in the world. And you have fewer accidents with a good sharp knife
Yeah,
than with not so good knives. So
I
I would
agree.
say knife.
I agree. That's probably mine too. And the coffee pot these days. Okay, something that you miss most about the market.
The community experience.
I know.
I love the market. I love the shopping. I love talking to the farmers. I love people hanging out, kids playing, families, just the whole vibe.
I know.
What I miss most. And my husband, as I said, died years ago. So I'm here alone. So other than I do have contact with my daughter, which I'll tell you about in a minute, but I very much miss the market has a lovely spirit. And I think in part, it's a reflection of you and Chris and the kind of people you are and the way you make friends with people. And that kind of spirit grows.
Oh, that's
We'll come back and we'll have all of that. We just have to be patient.
We will, and that's very kind of you to say. And I said the same thing to Carolyn and Josh last week. I mean, one of the things that's really fun for residents too is because you and Bram come to the market and Carolyn comes to the market. We have, these local celebrities in our hood who come and use the park quite regularly, and it's like a celebrity sighting. People get excited to see you, and it's got a lovely, it makes Tuesdays just so glorious. So we're missing it very much. So
my grandsons yesterday said, you should tell them that you missed the hot chocolate, which is what they miss.
Yes, Luke is really missing the donuts. He was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, we'll see people again. But when do we get the donuts again? I'm like, trying to get that. All right, my final question, we're going to tweak it a little bit, is, there's so much doom and gloom in pandemic, and there's so much talk about all the horrible things, which of course is very common. But there are these little gifts sometimes, and there are these little silver linings that if you, dig deep, you can find, or if you expand sort of your horizon a bit, you can find, sometimes harder on some days than others. But is there a silver lining that has, become visible for you during all of this, Sharon?
Yes. For me, very personally, as you may or may not know, Bram has retired. Lois died 5 years ago, but she stopped performing 20 years ago. Bram and I continued, and he retired at the end of last year. And my daughter, who's been managing us for the last number of years, she and I decided that we were going to do some singing together. So we made a plan to carry on. Bram was thrilled with the idea and encouraged us. So we were going to carry on doing the same kind of music and have the same kind of musical experience. But of course, the jobs that were booked, the concerts that were booked have been postponed until this is all done. So we started doing Facebook Live sing-alongs. In fact, we do it every Thursday at 1 o'clock on Facebook. And it's the two of us together. And it's a surprise to me how much fun it is. She knows more about our history and our repertoire than I can even remember. And she's very musical. My family is very musical. So she's terrific, and we have a lot of fun, and it's an opportunity for me to share in a way with my daughter that is new. So that is very special.
That's I think the loveliest thing. And I've been following you guys on Facebook, and we're fortunate to have you guys on the show as our musical guests today. But I think that's so lovely, and it's a whole new evolution of your career.
Sharon, Lois and Bram.
Absolutely. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What do you say, Mazel Tov? Is that right? Mazel Tov?
Yeah, Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov. Okay, I will take that with some latkes and enchiladas next time we see you. Thank you.
What a combination.
I know. It'll be multicultural night.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be with you.
I can't wait to hug you in person. It's going to be a long one.
That's a trick.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Love
Okay,
you.
sweetheart, bye.
Bye.
Boop, boopy doo.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tanya. I'm a part of a collective called Works in Progress, and this is Marnie.
Hi, everybody. I'm an artist with Works in Progress.
I'm in Toronto.
I'm in Hamilton, and there's kids having a water hose fight in behind me. So if there's like children screaming, that's what it is. It's cries of joy. So we're trying to keep textiles out of the garbage. So if we have socks that have holes in them, or if we have a shirt that our kids have grown out of, we just put it aside. Well, we definitely try not to have anything go into the garbage. So I have tiny scraps. I'm collecting them, and I stuff ottomans and things with them. But we start big first.
I have socks.
I have socks.
Yeah.
When our kids were small, my husband played soccer indoors with them all the time, just by making sock balls. They would just play soccer for ages and ages.
Like, I really like this yellow one.
Yeah, I like the other one too.
It's just to make balls, but I mean, if you're gonna make a set of balls, you want to kind of think about what you want to have on the outside and what you want to have on the inside.
Yeah.
Like maybe you have some that are, less colorful, and those can be your starter socks, and then maybe you have your stripy socks for your polka dot socks.
Yeah, because we're all about the practicality, but the beautiful practicality. Bring your socks.
We'll make them into something else.
Think that, like, if you had enough socks, like a big bin of those as a present for a little kid, like the parents would be like, "You just gave me a bin of socks," and we would be like, "But wait!"
Whoa,
and the kids are like, "Whoa!" and they just play with them, and I think it'd be amazing. Oh, I like your little ball.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I will see you Thursday.
All right, have fun.
All right.
Night.
Thanks. You too. Bye. Enjoy the
Bye.
sun. Bye.
Hi, I'm Sharon. And I'm Randy. And we're going to sing a song for you that tells you how we feel sometimes when we're at home, like you. I am slowly going crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, switch. Crazy going slowly am I. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. Join us. I am slowly going crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, switch. Crazy going slowly am I. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. I am going crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, switch. Crazy going slowly am I. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. I am slowly crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, switch. Crazy going slowly am I. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. I'm going crazy. Here's another little tidbit for you. Skinnamarink-y dinky dink, skinnamarink-y doo. I love you, Chris and Leslie. I love you. We missed the market. I love soon we'll be together. I love you too. Boop boopy doo. Mwah.